Okay, so I really think this is not being talked enough about, right? People, rightly so, focus on Bitcoin in their analyses, but they've missed the forest for the trees when they say, well, if Bitcoin's going to do this and altcoins are going to do that. You really need to analyze that Bitcoin dominance chart, because when altcoins move, it's nothing like anybody's ever seen before in Bitcoin. It doesn't even compare, right? This is where legends are made in cryptocurrency. Hello everyone, my name's Dean, let's talk crypto. This is where you subscribe for daily Bitcoin updates and technical analysis. We track the price of Bitcoin as a proxy for the cryptocurrency markets at large. Today is February 6th, 2024. And Bitcoin is about to put in a big move, but it may go in the opposite way briefly at first. Okay, if you're subscribed to this channel, you know exactly what I'm talking about, but if not, stay tuned. We're not just going to talk about what Bitcoin's likely to do in the next coming days, but also altcoins. That's even a bigger story. So guys, please pay attention, watch until the very end. Hope everyone's having a great day. Let's get started. I'm on the 4-hourly Bitcoin chart against USDT, and we have put in what we believe to be a retest of this move right here. Ever since the Bitcoin ETF, right, we hit 48K, 49K, thereabouts, a high, and ever since then, we've been going down impulsively, okay? We went down, rather, impulsively, and we hit a low of about 38K. And since then, we were saying on this channel, it was likely that we get a 618 retest of this move, because this right here represents an initial break, or not an initial break of structure, or a primary wave to the downside. So a wave one that represents the larger move down in Bitcoin, right, on the higher time frame that we've been expecting to come back down to the 30K region. Okay, it may even go below that, but we're expecting a move down back here to retest previous resistance, right, of 250 days right here as new support. That has to be retested, and so that's always been on the table. This move that we're pretty much getting set to make has always been on the table as a result of having created that 250-day resistance level and then broken it without retesting it. So that's essentially what we've been saying for months on this channel, that you're going to get this move, that this 40-day channel right here is a long-standing distribution channel where price is getting ready to break down, and that was the initial breakdown, or the initial wave of the breakdown. This is the initial retest. So basically I'm saying this is wave one, this is wave two. We should be expecting a wave three, wave four, wave five, something like that. So a larger move to the downside is in the works for Bitcoin, more likely than not, based off of the technical analysis. That being said, as I said in the beginning of the video, in the coming days, we can expect Bitcoin to go slightly to the upside. And why is that? Well, because, as I said, this is a 40-day channel right here, okay? And channels typically don't break until they're retested. And what portion of the channel has to be retested? The midline. People forget that channels have three main aspects: the top resistance, the bottom support, and the midline. And to leave a channel, it's not only about retesting the bottom support or the top resistance, but also the midline before leaving it. And that midline move would take us about to 44,700 thereabouts, so about 4 or 5% to the upside before a larger move to the downside. So I do believe that what is likely to happen in Bitcoin in the next coming days is that we matriculate to this midline, which we've been expecting, which represents a 4 to 5% move. then we find resistance, and then Bitcoin find its way back down. Now, when is this likely to happen? Well, the next moon phase is the new moon. And what do we know about moon phases? Let's zoom out really quickly and put on the indicator. And guys, if you're getting value, please like, share, and subscribe. Buy me a coffee. Buy me a coffee at the link below pinned in the comments. So the moon phases indicator shows us what the research tells us, right? Decades of research indicate that on a new moon, Bitcoin usually forms a local market top, right? Local market top, local market top, local market top. On a full moon, Bitcoin usually forms a local market bottom, local market bottom, local market bottom, local market bottom. And so the next moon phase is a new moon. That's in 3 days on February 9th. So that should likely form a local market top, which should trigger a move to the downside. Our stochastic RSI momentum indicator is also on top over bot, and that is showing also that we're likely to get a move to the downside. So I would be very, very cautious towards the end of the week on Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and I would not be surprised if we got a large move to the downside on towards the end of the week on the weekend. Okay, so that's Bitcoin. First to move up to the midline or thereabouts. Again, remember, this is approximative. This is just, kind of a guideline, but I do believe that we move up a little bit before moving down in a large, major way. But what's interesting about the crypto markets isn't the fact that Bitcoin's going up 5% and then, going to likely dump, 15% or something like that. What's really interesting about the crypto markets is the movement of altcoins. So I'm going to draw your attention to the market cap Bitcoin dominance chart. It's basically Bitcoin dominance for short. And for the past 100 or so days, we've been in this channel right here. And this channel shows a quintessential bearish reversal pattern. Okay. And just like Bitcoin, that's been in a channel for quite some time. Although Bitcoin's channel has only been 40 days, this is a 100-day channel we're talking about. Before leaving the channel, you're retesting what? The midline. And this is our midline retest. And look at our stochastic RSI momentum indicator for this Bitcoin dominance chart. It's moving down. We're likely to move down. Remember, what that means is if Bitcoin dominance is moving down, that means Bitcoin is losing to altcoins, or altcoins are gaining against Bitcoin in market cap, i.e. Bitcoin's up 1%, altcoins are up 10%, something like that. So this is what we can expect on the smaller time frame. If you go to the 4-hourly, you can see this more clearly. You have here your rounded top at the midline, okay? So all of this activity looks distributive, and you look to be breaking down from that midline, right? And that really indicates what we're seeing on the charts, which is some altcoins are starting to wake up. So go back to the charts and look specifically at how this is playing out in the altcoin space. So on my main watch list, I have Cartesi starting to move. It's up 15%. Meanwhile, Bitcoin's not up even 1%. I also have synthetics up almost 5%, 4% right now. On the general watch list, we have router protocol up 26% today, right? Optimism up almost 8% today, right? So you see a lot of green in the altcoin space despite Bitcoin not doing much. That's exactly what we're seeing translated in that Bitcoin dominance chart. So Bitcoin dominance is showing us this effect. This effect happens and then Bitcoin dominance reflects it, right? Because it's an indicator. So that is what's really interesting about the cryptocurrency space right now, altcoins. This is what we mean by altcoin season. Bitcoin kind of hangs out, but altcoins are grooving. Okay, still, I would be very cautious towards the end of the week because, and I'm going to use two examples here. I'm going to show you some altcoins, really nice clean charts, illustrating this move. Okay, so I really think this is not being talked enough about, right? People, rightly so, focus on Bitcoin in their analyses, but they've missed the forest for the trees when they say, well, if Bitcoin's going to do this, then altcoins are going to do that. You really need to analyze that Bitcoin dominance chart, because when altcoins move, it's nothing like anybody's ever seen before in Bitcoin. It doesn't even compare, right? This is where legends are made in cryptocurrency. So look at this chart. This is Hook against Tether USDT, and you have, and I've used this example before, but it bears repeating, 1,000+ days, or sorry. This one is only less than 500 days, okay? Less than 500 days of let's get the pen out. Sorry. I don't know why it's slow to respond here. Let's try this again. Okay, let's make this a little bigger. Okay. So, Hook protocol. You haven't seen anything but corrective price action in this ever since December of 2022. So here's your bear market right here. 1, 2, 3 waves down. That's your bear market. Ever since August of 2023, you've been consolidating. You're pretty much reaccumulating buyers to resume this price action. So you're pretty much just waiting. So all of this is reaccumulation of buying pressure, or people that want to invest in the product, okay, in the asset. That reaccumulation has been 170 days in the making, okay? And most recently, what I really want to draw your attention to is this bit right here. Ever since early January, you've had a really nice and clean accumulation channel, right? And when I look at this, I see 2 degrees of AB basing in a pivot, right? 1, 2, and that's my pivot, right? So again, that's my initial break of structure, my counter. Secondary break of structure, my counter. Here's my pivot. I'm looking for a breakout right here. That is very nicely articulated in my stochastic RSI momentum indicator that's bottomed out in a double bottom with confirmed bullish divergence on the daily time frame. Okay, so this is really compelling. And remember, on a higher time frame, that represents, if we do break out, that represents the first real breakout of this asset in almost 500 days, because ever since, this 1, 2, 3 wave move, you've gotten nothing but sideways accumulation. Okay, so that's a big deal right here. This move is a big deal. It's not like one of many. It's like the first time in over a year and a half that you've gotten anything like this, okay? And many altcoins are like this, and I'm going to show you one more example that's even more drastic. For those of you who look at this pattern right here, or look at this price action and don't see 2 degrees of AB, don't see 2 degrees of AB basing in a pivot, you can see a wedge or a triangle. A lot of beginning traders do pattern analysis and they look at these triangles. I know the Banter Boys, Sheldon the Sniper, he's big on this, and a lot of people watch his stuff. I even learned a lot from him in the beginning of my trading career. So here's a nice example of a triangle that you have based many times very nicely. You have a clear and well-defined resistance, a downward sloping resistance, and you're essentially looking to break that resistance to the top side, targeting the top of the triangle, retesting, and then moving on. So that's basically what you're looking at here. And you can also look at this in a third way as a channel, because channels are really, really useful. So look at this as the top of the channel, and this is kind of the Wyckoff in me talking. Look at the top as a resistance, the bottom as support, and always add your midline, okay? And so basically what happens is, if you do break out, you're going to find your next logical resistance, main resistance, at the top here. There's going to be some bit of resistance at the midline, but the main resistance is going to be at the top. And remember, before leaving the channel entirely, you're going to want to retest the midline. So that's the move I would be looking for, trading these. Basically trading the channel to go all the way up to the top and then retesting the midline before leaving. Okay, so that's one example in hook. Okay, let's look at one more. Okay, and this, like I said, is even more drastic of an example. You can see, and there's a lot of these, but I'm just going to look at one more in the interest of time, at REEF. Okay, REEF, good project. And if you look at this entire chart, you can see now this one has been down and sideways for over 1,000 days. That's 1,133 days of down and sideways price action that you have there. Yeah. So ever since January of 2021, you went up, and then you pretty much put in your bear market, which is 1, 2, 3, literally 1,000 days of down. You're pretty much going down for 1,000 days. I mean, that is carnage if you've ever seen it. That is absolute pain in terms of, chart analysis or price action. So what you want to focus on is a base or some sort of consolidation, which could serve as a precursor for a move up. And that's what we have here. And we've gotten that since June of 2023. So we're pretty much dealing with, once again, a larger channel of accumulation. Okay. And that's, again, the Wyckoff and me talking. Accumulation channels. You can look up Wyckoff accumulation online if you'd like. But even more recently, you have that same triangle, right? Descending triangle, I think it's called in pattern analysis. I'm not exactly sure. Don't hold me to that. But you have a clear base right here. For the past 30 days, you've been forming a clear base and a decreasing downward sloping resistance, which is very nice to trade. I know, again, Sheldon the Sniper, and that they have a large community, those crypto banter, that company or that group, that channel, they like to teach these descending wedges or these triangle trades. And so breaking the triangle, you'd be targeting the top of the triangle. So once again, that is likely to happen. And remember, if you do get a move, that move will be the first of its kind in over 1,000 days. This is what is interesting about altcoins in cryptocurrency right now that you don't see in Bitcoin. And once again, our stochastic RSI momentum indicator is showing us confirmed bullish divergence right here. Do you see? So you have a bottom, you have two bottoms here, and you have two bottoms here. You have a higher low in this bottom right here, and you're confirmed it because you crossed your K and D lines here. So this is likely to pop up and out. Okay, so I do think that these are going to break out within the next 2-3 days, but I don't believe that one should ignore what's likely to happen towards the end of the week with Bitcoin, because remember, when Bitcoin dumps, everything else is likely also to dump. So that is my analysis. That's what I see in the charts. Guys, if you found value in this, please like, share, subscribe, buy me a coffee. Link pinned down in the first comment below. Take care, and I'll see you soon. Bye.